Those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was there already. No, that would contradict. There's another entrance. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died. No, that would have left far too much evidence. He wasn't in there already because we're trying to believe her testimony. So there was another entrance, I think. I'm trying to figure that out now. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other has only windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly be open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes. One other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin? Hold on. Is there a latch on it or something? Yes, there is a latch. Okay, there's a latch on the skylight, so it can be used as the evidence. It can be used as the exit, so... present! The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However, the skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained. as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded. To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of me not saying, but aye, 'tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellows do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the one who stuck the knife in the man where... Arg! Hold it! Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blighter? You rotter, he said. You rotter! What are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I'm a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said. Then so will I. Mr. Fairplay. You were effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's great, it's scandalous, I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too. How about you, you rotten scoundrel? Order! 'Tis not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. And this is beyond reason, my lord. Ah, it's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zykes. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accused? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese friend, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but You can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are you waiting for? Get him to testify! I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another. If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. Testify! 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 What's happening, Mr. Arhodo? Testify! The spectators in the public gallery are fearing a complete frenzy. Testify! Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord? You will testify! 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 In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Witness testimony. Refuting the accusation. We were the only two people on that roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. If anything had happened when we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it's somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open roof deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? Hey! According to the investigation by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Ah, well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really, so why do I feel uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Okay.
Hold it!
So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not, Dickon. No question about it, he said. Not at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Yeah, me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie, without a doubt. You were engaged then. Let me stop you there, fellow, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Ah. It's all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you with my own eyes. This is going so well.
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run on the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of lock? Is this a kind of joke, he said. Is that what it is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair, dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme.
It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked.
Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away in the fairies and I didn't hear you at all.
That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone.
No, that was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. That's hardly surprising.
Seeing things! Seeing things!
I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point.
You!
Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, it's only fair that you and the other fellow are too. Open and free competition is what capitalist society is all about.
This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
Hold it!
So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, lummy no, not once, never.
He never met the man before, he said. Never!
And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either?
That's right. Sir, hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can we put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. Hello?
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection, isn't that right now, I wonder? What are you insinuating now? Oh, Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe this fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date. I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest, you tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, isn't it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crime off on another. Arr, arr. And young Mr. First.
Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir?
You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there's a top hat sliding about your head. Is it one of your own creation, is it?
Oh, well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door.
He had the perfect fit, isn't it? Well, 'tis very distinctive design, so it is.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch.
Customers? Such as Thrice-Fired Mason? Ah! There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence afore, my lord. This you mean. I can't help thinking that the poor fella's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say?
Oh. That's one of my hats.
Aye, that it is. It would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of goods.
Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir.
Well, that's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellows haven't had the remotest connection to the victim, you see? I rest my case. You little weasel. Ugh. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGildy has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please don't let me a little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said.
Take a look for yourself, go on. See? It's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is. Of course, a fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. What? Just look at the size of the thing, you understand. Ah, now you hold on a minute there, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happened.
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. Fart, Mr. First.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and I tried when I was inside a cabin of shame.
Hello?
Excuse me!
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade? It opens. The skylight? That is what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon.
That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind,
You can't do it from the inside, you mug. Oh! Look, a few weeks ago I was up on the roof of one of them drags. And I had a great hole. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum for eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff! Climb onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims. Ah!
Oh, my hat!
See? Order, order, order! So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. So the catch for the skylight is on the top side. Yes, but it's not fastened at the moment, so we can slide it open from in here. Oh dear! Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Why do I have to kick someone like you through? Certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look, just there, look at this! That's... without question. It's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely... it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? The details of the omnibus have been updated. If your sort of thing fell through the skylight, where's your proof? Ah, there it is. There's our proof.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug! You can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible.
Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord? I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? We'll point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight.
Got it!
By Jupiter, is that blood? This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my!
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Order, order, order! But blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I?
But, there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. Thirst? It's all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from the fair height right there, so it is. What? No!
But it can't be, it's... oh!
Lies! My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it!
Oh, I always knew the nice gentleman who gave us that delightful part couldn't have been do such a thing.
On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3!
Objection!
chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zykes?
A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection.
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see and it's clearly blood.
Objection.
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage, at least not until this trial began. But... Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zyke, that this stain of blood was... fabricated, my lord, yes. And while this court has been in session... What?
What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zykes. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fella known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You are very apt when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut, Lord Van Zykes. This will not do, to be sure.
Will it now, counsel? Oh, no.
I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skyline didn't exist, you say? But, if yous will cast your minds back, it's not true that the omnibus there had been in the courtroom the entire time. How could anyone possibly have put a smear on blood in it without the Whirl and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel?
It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during the trial? If you're asking me, I think it could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests.